Hey y'all, welcome to the Checks and Balance podcast. I'm Key.
And I'm Nik. And we're here to bring our text thread to the camera. I don't know how long it took us to get to this point.
It's been like 2 years.
Yeah, I remember one day I text Keita I want to do a podcast. And she was like, let's do it.
I'm always down.
And we talked about it for
months,
years.
And then we said, oh, we're going to do it this way or we're going to do it that way. And we just never did it. But honestly, we have to be honest. Life really took its course.
Life did. And I think that when we were coming into the new year, we said that we were going to spend more time one-on-one together. That was something that we decided that we wanted to do.
Sunday fun day.
So then after we decided that, I was like, that's the perfect opportunity for us to use that one day that we're going to spend together and do the podcast.
And bond and talk, because that's what we do most of the time.
Yes, that's what we do. So here we are. We're here now, and we just want to bring some checks and balance to your life. Hopefully you guys enjoy the episode and what we have to offer and what we have to say. I feel like our friendship has evolved so much over the course of almost 2 decades?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Kids,
losses, all type of stuff.
All of that,
all type
everything.
of stuff.
You can imagine we've been there for each other. Like we literally, I think you had to be about 11. I felt like I was 12.
12 or 11, right? Like 11 or 12, and you probably were like 14.
No, I was like 12.
So I was like 9.
Yeah, you young.
Well, we met in church, so
Bestie.
Remember
when we thought we was Destiny Child?
Yes, we did, and we used to play the music. What?
I was always Beyonce though.
Yes, she obsessed. I don't know, you're obsessed still or not so much?
She's a human, just like
okay, she's not obsessed anymore, guys.
But I do love her music. I do love her work, her art, all of that. I'm a Beyonce fan, but I'm not obsessed.
We grew up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember we was going to
all
the right tour.
We
was running to them, okay?
Yes,
we didn't miss them. But in the last couple years, we slowed down. Mm-hmm. I didn't go to any of the recent shows.
Yes, everything has to make sense.
Yeah. But yeah, so we've been friends for pretty much all of our lives. And Keita is the one person that I've never had an argument with.
We never had an argument.
Never.
I'm sitting here trying to think. I think I could think of one time where I felt away. And I remember this so because it happened once. So I saw you at IHOP. You and Jeff were at IHOP. And I remember walking in there and you ain't say nothing to me. Yeah, I was like, oh, no, it was like a dry high. It was and I had to tell you, I'm like, hold on, because I didn't do nothing to her. And I had to think about it, but I ended up texting you about it. And I'm like, what's up? Are you
Was
bad?
I having a bad day? Yeah. I was gonna say, because I feel like I will admit it, I will be the person that is mad, and it's everybody.
Yeah.
You're not the person that made me mad, but I'm just not.
Mad. You just were under the influence.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Because I would never.
Yeah, no.
We've never. I don't know. And it's weird because we do have different friend groups. I'm not really in her friend group. No. But Keita's my best friend.
That's facts.
Yeah, I'm not in the friend group. No shade to the friends. I'm just not in the...
No, but it's the same way with you.
Yeah, it's no shade to the friends. We do have our own friends. Mm. But, and we spend our time pretty much, one-on-one.
Yeah. I mean, if I have something...
Yeah, or if I have something, we come, we do. But it's when it's hangout, it's our thing is different than
not,
what we do
I'm invited.
Everybody. Yeah.
If anything, it'd be Jeff or Leo. Oh, yeah, by the way, since we're here, I'm married.
Yes, y'all, this is my married friend. My only friend that's pretty much that I've been friends with forever, a childhood friend that's married. I do have some work friends that are married, but my friends that I see every day, talk to every day outside of work, yeah.
I'm the only married friend.
Yeah. If I'm forgetting you, I'm sorry, but I do think that you're my only married friend. Mm. How does it feel to be married?
It's fun.
It's fun?
No, it is. It's lit. It's
honestly, you don't complain. Married?
I don't have no complaints. I honestly have no complaints. Only thing I could say is shit, I don't know. I don't have.
It's normal. It's just
it's literally like having one of your best friends just live with you. and when he's not there, like, so for instance, I know this is off topic. So for instance, like, my car was down for a couple months, so he was taking me back and forth to work. And I got so used to that, and now I get home before him, and I just be like, bruh, I feel lonely. So, like, what is going on? What is this? What is this?
What's happening?
Yeah, like, yeah.
That's a good thing, though. I feel like, you know, I'm not married, but I've seen a lot of not so good marriages. You know what I mean? Like, so seeing people that are happy being married, that's a I think that really, like, changes people's perception on marriage. Like, if you're only witnessing failed marriages or bad marriages, it will affect your desire to get married or how you feel about marriage. So, like, seeing healthy marriages, like, my sister is in a healthy marriage. Like, I was a part of her wedding.
Right.
You're in a healthy marriage. I was a part of your wedding. Like, that type of stuff is, like, motivation.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because you don't see it often. I didn't see it in growing up. You know, my aunt and my uncle had a good marriage. Like, they've been married all of my life. But that was literally, and my parents have been married. Like, they were married most of my life, together most of my life. But that's not a marriage anymore. You know what I'm saying? And my aunt is not married. Well, she's a widow now. So, like, yeah, that's the only, you know, pretty much. And my grandma was married too. But, like, it's very rare that you find healthy marriages like that you can look up to, because people just aren't getting married anymore, or if they're getting married, it's not lasting.
That's true.
You know?
And honestly, like, but a lot of times people don't understand that marriage takes a lot of work. It really takes a lot of work. It's not just like, oh, we get into one argument, we just got to go our separate ways. No. Me and Leo, we've been through our nonsense, but, like, I think we're both at a place where we're getting older, so it's like, what are we doing? Like, I'm gonna tell you what I want before anything. I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm gonna lay it out on the table so nobody else has to say, oh, this is what she's doing or this is what she wants.
Right.
No, I'm gonna let you know.
Right.
So I don't have no problem.
I feel
communication's key.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like if you are in a place where you can communicate and you feel seen and heard, and you feel comfortable to express yourself, I think that makes things a little bit easier. Like, I will say, like, communication is something that, like,
that's what any relationship.
Yeah, friendships.
No,
family
and I think people fail to realize that with, like, friendships, like, you have to communicate, especially if you don't feel a certain way. And I think that's where I was going with, like, both of us. Like, if I feel a way,
you're gonna tell me.
I'm gonna tell you,
and I'm gonna tell you. Yeah,
and I think that's why our friendship has lasted so long.
That's probably why I don't have a lot of friends.
But you got to be for real about that.
That's probably why I don't have a lot of friends, because I feel like people really don't know how to take me. You know what I'm saying? Because
you are very, like.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah, I did, because
not only that, but your appearance sometimes can be like, don't talk to me.
See that one, I really try to work on that. Now that I'm older, I do try to work on that, because that's not, like, I don't want to come off as unapproachable.
Okay.
I'm not unapproachable. Like, you know what I mean? I will tell you that I will be picking up on that energy as soon as you get close enough for me to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do pick up on vibes, energy. I'm going to read the room. I'm absolutely reading the room.
Yeah.
But I'm not unapproachable. Like, I want people to feel comfortable to approach me. So if I have the, resting B face.
B word.
You know, and I am using this podcast to try to, like.
Yeah, because her son is watching.
I'm using this podcast to try to censor my potty mouth. I have extreme potty mouth, so I am trying to use this platform as a way to stop cursing so much. I'm gonna still be cursing, but, like, I don't want to curse so much. You know what I'm saying? Because I know my mom is gonna watch this, my dad our family gonna watch it. So I'm trying to not have potty mouth. But yes, if I appear to have RBF, right? Yeah. Just come say hi.
That's where we're different at, because we're a lot alike, but we're different that way.
Yeah, you're a social butterfly.
I'm not a social butterfly. Like,
you're more social than me.
I'm more social under the influence. If I'm not, like, if I don't have a couple drinks in me, I'm not talking to nobody. Please get me out of here.
Yeah, I can agree.
But I won't just start talking to people. Like, you would have to. I'm approachable. You're not. That's what I'm saying. I'm approachable. You're not.
But I want to be.
Okay, so just smile sometimes like this.
That's not me, though. Like, I don't know. But if you do feel like I'm unapproachable, please don't feel that way. I am approachable. Like, I don't mind talking to people. But if you want some weird stuff, I'm gonna feel that, and I'm gonna let you know I feel that, and we're not gonna get far. Because I can't hide it. My face is not going to hide it. My body language is not going to hide it. And for the fact of the matter, I really don't be trying to hide it.
I don't even want new friends.
No, that's not. That's not true. That's not true, because I do feel like my life is in a shift right now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say I
want
new friends,
but I'm open to meeting people. Yeah. I'm open to meeting, especially because like you don't really, if you stay confined to just what you know, there's so much out to explore. Mm-hmm. There's so much. I feel like being in my 30s now is much more.
In your 30s, you're old.
You older than me. Being in my 30s, okay, all right. Being in my 30s now, though, I feel like I'm just like shifting. I'm starting to see life a little bit differently, and just being more open to experiences and open to just exploring like different things, because we are from a small town, and if you don't have that motivation to get out there for yourself to do it, it's easy to just stay.
I don't know. I don't know how to. When it comes to meeting new people, it's so weird for me.
It's awkward.
It's so weird because, like, I be thinking, like, I always be saying to Leo when we be going to football, like, or basketball with the kids and stuff, and I'm like, I need to make some friends because I just be sitting here. I be following him everywhere. I will follow him everywhere because I don't.
I do the same. So Jeff coaches, and like he'll ask if I want to go on the field, like, and I'm not really social like that, so I'll go. And I pretty much recently just started talking to people, being open to like just having conversations and getting to know people. So like. The moms on the team, we cool. Like, I'm cool with some of the moms on the team. I don't got no kids out there playing, but I be out there I'm out here for the support. I be out there with the kids, supporting Jeff while he's coaching. And that's a whole nother thing. Like, I feel like that's a whole nother life now.
I feel like that's tequila getting to me.
You think so? Mm-hmm. It ain't creep up on me
yet. Not getting to me, but I feel it.
But yeah, I do feel like, 30s it's a new time.
Yeah, I like being 30. I feel like 30 is like... Shit, 20s was rough.
20s was traumatizing. Traumatizing as
20s was rough.
Traumatizing. I was traumatized. I'm not going to lie to you or nothing. Like, when you really cannot feel or understand, like, where you're at when you're in a moment, right? Like, when you're directly in a moment, in hurt and pain and grief and all different, you don't really know where you're at. You're just there.
Yeah, that's true.
But when you actually take the time to like heal yourself and try to like put those pieces back together, and you get a little bit further from where you were at, you can really see clear, like, damn, I was down bad. Real bad. I was down bad.
Wait, that's funny you say that, because like you said, like when you go through grief and you go through all that trauma and all that, it really does messes with you. And I was like, I was having a conversation with someone, and I was saying how, like, when my mom had passed away, and I would drink so much. Like, every day I would come home. Oh, and then I would make an excuse for, I done had a long day at work, or, I done put my hours in, I could take me a shot. And I'm like, no, that was a coping mechanism. Like, yeah, that was to cope.
It gets dark.
Yeah, it does. And
you don't want to feel nothing. Like, you don't want to actually feel what you're feeling, so you just do something else that's going to take your mind off of it, where you're not in that moment. Like, I've been there.
Yeah, I don't mind. I can drink on the weekends, but
yeah. Well, now it's like our priority.
Yeah, it's not it's not a priority. Before it used to be a priority.
Yeah, what we doing this weekend? Outside, like clubbing, bar hopping.
Listen, my weekend, this was the first time I was out since Friday. Well, considering I had a kid with an issue, but this was the first time. But even before that, I don't really go out like that unless I have somewhere to go.
Yeah. Somebody have something going on.
But I'm not about to just be in a bar every weekend.
Because what? Like, first of all, it's expensive. I don't got money to give y'all for the bar.
Get my bottle.
Yeah, like, what? No. And then you don't feel safe. Like, that's another thing. Like, it's where can you go? And that's the one thing that really just, like, saddens me a lot, like, watching all of our kids grow up. And it's, like, the childhoods. Like, don't get me wrong. We didn't have much of nothing too much. Like, it really wasn't too much entertainment going on, but we made it. Yeah, like, we were outside,
but we weren't doing anything that was going to harm ourselves or other people.
But we felt safe to be outside. Like, we were outside, just running around Bristol Borough, running around, like, whatever we was doing, and we felt safe. Our families and parents felt safe to let us be outside. It's like these kids now, they only have like their electronics because it's not really safe outside.
That's true. That's one thing I could say, though, that I'm so grateful that I have multiple kids because they have each other. Yeah. And they go outside. Yeah. They go and play. They will go play all day long outside and come back and then play on the electronics. But they like to go outside.
Well, I've only had, like, just the one for 17 years. And, like, it was rough. Like, he didn't really have anyone. Like, he had cousins and stuff, but, like, I was always working, going to school.
So let me ask you a question. How do you feel about being, like, a teen mom?
You want to know something? I will literally have to say, it's crazy that you asked me that. Like, I will have to say that is that's the one thing that's probably directly responsible for, like, who I am.
No, I agree.
You know what I mean? Like, I felt like everybody, like, that's where I got tough skin. That's where I really just got to the point where I can't worry about what anyone is saying. Because guess what? They was talking, right? They was talking, and that's fine, right? I remember parents didn't want their kids to, like, hang out. Listen.
What?
Yeah, like, it was a real thing, and that's not something that, like, I don't really talk about that because it really just didn't mean nothing to me. But I'll tell you that it meant, like, you ain't going to prove these people right. Like, you going to do what you got to do and some. Mm-hmm. Like, you're not just going to do what you got to do. You're going to do a little bit more than that. Right. Because that's what they were thinking. Mm-hmm. That was the end of my life. You know what I'm saying? And it really wasn't. It wasn't the end of my life. And I think that because of my decision to go through with that, because we all have choices, we all have options, I could have not went through with it. That was always an option on the table. But I also was raised, like, to just take accountability. Like, so this is what I did. Right. And to be completely real, like, if it wasn't that child,
right,
it would have been another one. You know what I mean? It would have happened because clearly where I was at that time wasn't a good place.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And that's another, like, testament to, like, being a parent, like, having those conversations with your kids. Mm-hmm. Like, I was raised in Christian household. We went to church every Tuesday, Thursday, and 2 times on Sunday. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And my grandmom definitely did the best that she could. Like, she raised a lot of kids, and we never really wanted for nothing. You know what I mean? We all had each other all the time. But I do think, like, that generation, they really thought that, like, church was all they had to do for us.
See, well, my parents didn't grow up. I didn't grow up like,
and that's going to church
was my own choice. Like, my own choice. Yeah. And I remember, this is crazy, and I don't. So my mom, because she knew that, like, church was something that I was into, she would, like, put me on punishment from going to church sometimes, and I'm like, Mom, okay, all right, like, that's it. That's all you got is church, but.
Because you wanted to be there.
And she knew that I had fun. Like, I got to be around my friends and all that. Like, oh, no, let's time that out. But I'm going to be honest with you, that probably would be me too now.
Yeah, because that's what they want to do.
If you're on punishment and you're trying to have fun, you ain't going to church. I know what you be doing. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So I get it now, but at first, I'm like, what is you doing? Like, church? But to circle back on what you were saying, like, about being, like, a teen mom, because I'm also a teen mom. I mean, I had Fred at 19, and I was in college. I was going to college for information technology, and I was going to play basketball.
I was like playing ball, like, don't forget
that was my mind. And then I remember, like, coming home from like, on a break, and I'm like, talking to my sister. Of course, they know all your life. They know all your cycles and how that goes. Her and my mom, they knew all of that. They're like, oh yeah, you're not. And I'm like,
they keeping up because you're in the house with them. Yeah.
But when I found out I was pregnant, there was no thought in my mind to, like, oh no, I don't want this kid. Like, no.
Yeah.
And I felt, like you said, I think that having him shaped me to be who I am today. And he been through everything with me.
Yeah. And everything. Not that, disclaimer, not that we are promoting teen pregnancy.
No. But it's just what we went through.
But that's what we went through, and we took those lemons and we made lemonade at the end of the day. Like, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, if that is your circumstance, or if you find your child or anything in that circumstance, it's not the end of their world or your world or anybody's world.
And it'll give you a push.
Yeah.
Because you have someone else to look
And not for nothing, so many more resources are available now that were not available when I was having my son.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, like, that's what I think is, like, really at the core, like, at my core, is I had a point to prove. Mm-hmm. Like, I did, because, and I tell him too, like, when you outside, you're a direct representation of me.
Right. And everybody knows you're my child. So please.
Yeah, like, please play with somebody else and not me.
I hope my son is listening.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely you listen. But yeah, like, I definitely feel like, you know, being a parent, like, these are conversations you have to have. And I feel like no one really communicated much of anything. We went to church. But
you want to know what's crazy? Because I'm like thinking back in the day, my mom never said, oh, X, Y, and Z about sex. She said, don't have sex or you're going to have a baby. And then I did it. And then I had a baby. I'm like, oh, you were right.
Yeah. Ours was like no sex before marriage. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I will say that, like, I think my grandma was also like, given the situation that we were all in, I think that she was expecting the older ones
to like teach
to reach back to the younger ones.
Mm-hmm.
But in that house, me and Frankie were the youngest. Mm-hmm. We were the youngest, so we were the last two. You know what I mean? Everybody else was older than us. Mm-hmm. So it's like our influences were older than us, but they was doing them, okay? Shalita, Kalima, Mika, they was doing them.
Don't be doing them like that.
They was doing them. They took care of me, you know what I mean? Like, they definitely took care of me. They took care of us. They fed us. You know what I mean? They helped my grandma. But when it came to those conversations, because we were in church all the time and because it was just like church is the answer, when you get a little bit of taste of outside, you know? So I definitely didn't force, like, church on my son, but I definitely, like, made him go to, like...
Oh, my kids go to church.
Yeah. And the thing is, for me, I don't go.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't go, but you have somebody that's going to go. My like, you know, like, he's not going to go with anybody besides us.
Right.
He's very in the house, at home with his people. You know what I mean? So he's not going to go, but I did have him go to vacation Bible school, like, and do all that. And he did get saved on his own. He, like, literally came out of the class and was like, I got saved today.
Period.
You see? But that's, like, something, like, when he did it, it wasn't because I forced that on him. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's something that he did for himself. And that's where I knew, like, all right, I'm doing something right. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because I definitely didn't want it to be, like, I know for me, when I got the chance to, like, not do it as much as I was doing it, it led me to, like, really not do it at all.
Because you were forced to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
It was, like, all the time. I was churched out. Not gonna lie. Like, I was churched out. Like, and I do, like, feel like that really also shaped me. I see now the influence that it had, like, the good and the bad influences, but I do feel thankful to my grandmom to introduce me to that.
Right.
So that way I have some type of faith, belief. Like, I know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's something that she took me there, but I got that on my own.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where I kind of wanted to go with my son. Like, I'm going to show you, but, like, whatever you develop from that, let it be on your own, because I don't want you to feel like those are the influences that is the reason why you are the way that you are.
Right.
Because I can say, like, I think that all of that kind of affected, like, where I went when I didn't have to do it anymore.
Right. But no, like you said, you would rather him have it on his own.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's how I feel about, like, all my kids. But, like, you know, Peyton, he does not play.
I love it.
He does not play by his God. He does not play, like, at all. And I'm just like, sometimes it, like, amazes me because it's like you're so young and you have that in you. And Leo,
it's natural.
It's natural. He loves God. And I love God.
I love that for him
too.
Yes, we do.
But for him to see it coming,
a child,
like, it hits different.
Yeah,
it's different. Like, and I think, and honestly, that had me on my own search. You know what I mean? Like, from seeing how my child.
If this child who, like, literally can just believe something that we know he didn't physically see.
He has.
You know what I'm saying? Like, then if it's like, I remember, like, I'll tell you what I remember. Being a kid and being at church, and I remember actually witnessing things, and that's where I was like, oh, well, I can't doubt what's going on, because, like, this is for real, like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, that's where my belief, like, obviously, yes, I was taken there by someone and, like, forced to go all the time, but I did start to see things for myself when I got old enough to, like, understand and comprehend what was going on.
Right.
So that's what carried it through adulthood. So I might not go to the building, you know, but that's inside of me. Like, you know what I mean? You can have church anywhere that you're at. You can talk to God anywhere that you're at. Yep. So, you know, I do feel like, you know, people do try to, like, shade you if you're not going, but I feel like that's not really, like, my soul salvation. You are supposed to fellowship. Don't get me wrong. I think fellowship is important, so I'm not taking anything away from fellowship. Fellowship is great. But if you don't want to do that, that's not taking anything away from your relationship with God.
Right.
So that's where I've been at with that, like as an adult. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I believe, I pray every day.
I read my Bible.
Yeah, I got the Bible app. I get notifications.
I read my Bible.
I started consciously, like I wasn't always reading the Bible now, but I started consciously like putting reminders on my phone to read. You know what I'm saying?
I randomly just said, you know what? I'm going to read the Bible as if it's a book.
Yeah.
Randomly one night, and then I just, now when I'm at work, I just have it playing in my ear, and I listen, and I be like, the Bible is messy.
Super. What?
The Bible be so messy, and I know my sister be so annoyed because I always be like,
You be texting her, asking about the scriptures.
It'd be the funniest thing, but yeah, you're right.
Like, I love like just being, I feel like having that faith really carries you through those dark times. Like, you know what I mean? Definitely. I feel like even when it was like super dark, pitch black, that little glimpse of hope, of faith, of just knowing that it's going to get better. You know what I mean? It might not look like that right now.
No,
but joy will come. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's always what carried me through all those traumas. But 20s was definitely traumatizing. And I feel like I'm flourishing a little bit in my 30s.
Yeah, 30s is lit.
Yeah.
I like being 30. I
Me
really,
too.
really do. I feel like the only thing that I don't like in my 30s is like, because I have teenager, it's a little chaotic. Yeah. I don't like chaos. Like chaos
chaotic.
Chaos drives me insane because why can't everything just be smooth? Like,
I think that's just our sign. We're Libras.
And I try to make everything smooth.
We're bringing the balance. We try to bring the balance. And I feel like when our balance is not being appreciated, it's going to throw everything off center.
Right.
Because it's like if I say something or if I tell you to do something or how to do something, I'm literally trying to save you some time.
But that's just with everything, though. Like, I feel like my patience is very, like, if this not it, you got to go. If it doesn't make sense in my life, it has to go in my 30s. In my 20s, I let a lot of stuff slide. I let a lot of stuff slide. I let a lot of things happen. I let a lot of things go.
But you want to know, I think we didn't really have full understanding of self at that time.
No, you're right. I didn't know who I was.
We didn't. Like,
and I'm not going to say I was a people pleaser, but I feel like a lot of times with who we are, yeah,
it's the confrontation. Like,
I don't like confrontation.
Well, okay, so I feel like I don't like it, but I'm for sure not running from it.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean?
Like, I don't like it, but
I don't like it because I really rather everybody just get along, right? But if you...
I feel like it takes a lot to get me out of character now. If you play with my kids...
Yeah.
It'll go to 100.
Yeah.
Instantly.
It's no...
Other than that, it's really like, it would take a lot to get to me because, for one, I don't care. Words mean nothing.
Nothing.
You can say whatever you want to say.
Right. I tell my son that all the time. Like, who can... Like, I literally cannot... And that's going back to being a teen mom. Like, I had to learn.
Are you down with somebody?
I had to learn to, like... Okay, like, you're going to say what you want. You're going to feel how you're going to feel. And you're entitled to that. Mm-hmm. Who am I to, like, argue with you about how you feel? Feel it. That's cool, right? So that I had to get that in me young. Mm-hmm. So now as an adult, like, I really couldn't care, like, less about what you think or how you feel. Because that's you.
See, one thing I could say, like, when I was maybe younger, I'm not going to say now, but younger, I definitely would always try to... I would say protect my character. Like, I don't want nothing being said about me that I feel would not be who I really am.
Right.
But now I'm just like, I really do not care.
They gonna say it, think it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Have at it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, that's the thing. I don't like to have confrontation with people. Mm-hmm. But I'm definitely not someone that's gonna shy away from saying anything. Mm-hmm. Right in a moment.
I'm a thinker.
I think.
See, that's the difference between...
Yeah, I'm thinking.
My 20s, I ain't thinking.
But a lot of times...
Now I think...
Well, I definitely think about... So I will definitely...
I won't say nothing. I'll just let you be because I don't have to deal with you. That's how I look at it. I'm not going back and forth with nobody.
It depends on the situation for me.
It depends on who it is.
Who it is and the situation.
Most times I'm not going
because a lot of people, I feel like you knew better than that. You absolutely knew better than that. And because you still thought it out to do.
But here's the thing, and that's one thing I want to say. In my 30s, I learned to set boundaries with people.
Yeah.
That's one thing you have to do. You have to set boundaries because people will keep picking and picking and picking until you become somebody that you really aren't.
My boundaries is to stay away from me. Like, literally, I will not be around you. Mm-hmm. Like,
don't contact
and you know what it is? It's even people that I don't really, like, connect with. Like, I'll still be in share a space.
Yeah.
That don't bother me. Like, I don't go anywhere uncomfortable. So, it don't matter.
I'm always uncomfortable. Everywhere. Not based off of people. It's just me. I don't like going out. I don't like going there.
Yeah, no, I'm there. And for real, I have a really bad... It's a bad characteristic trait, probably. Like, I don't see you. You're not even there. Like, I don't even...
mean, I could be like that, too. But I just feel like...
I'm like that all the time.
I don't really be around people. So here's my thing. I don't really dislike a lot of people. It's hard for me to dislike people because I don't deal with people. So
people don't like me, and then listen, I don't
seriously, don't deal with people. So I don't have people to dislike.
You know every, like, probably anybody who I don't deal with, you know, like, situations. Like, you know exactly what transpired, whatever.
Yeah.
And we could honestly say that it be stuff that people do to me, and then they don't like me. Like, you did something to me, but now you don't like me.
That's usually how it goes, though.
I don't ever, like, just dislike people. Like, it's no reason, because I really don't even see you, talk to you, be around you, so I really don't have a reason not to like you. But people do stuff and then try to be like, girl, bye. Like, I don't care because you're mad because you're doing something to me, and now you don't like me.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I don't have...
Yeah, so I don't really I won't say I don't like people, because it's really, if we don't mesh, it's because...
Not me sitting here trying to think who don't like me.
No, I feel like you're the most easygoing person.
Yeah, I don't deal with
You're
people.
my friend that just, you can get along with anybody. You can,
I can get along with everybody. That's the thing. I can get along with everybody. But most of the time, like, when, like, especially a female, if they don't like me, it's probably because of a man, which that's not my problem. Like,
I'm gonna let that one rest.
But for real,
listen,
but as a female, I'm
gonna let that rest. I'm gonna let that rest, because I can guarantee you
9 times out of 10
they don't like me over a man that's been here.
That's mine. That's how they
look. Like, I don't...
But yeah, that's weird to me.
It's weird to me, too, because I feel like if you're comfortable doing whatever you got going on, like, what that got to do with me? What you mad at me for?
Right.
I don't know nothing about you. But that's what it be. And it's a shame, because I'm definitely a girl's girl.
Yeah.
Me too. Like, I don't do stuff to people that I wouldn't want done to me. So I'm definitely a girl's girl. And when people aren't, it's really like, ew, you like that? Like,
yeah.
I'm turning my nose up for sure. Because I just feel like, why are you like that? Like, why? And you know what? And I also think that speaks to their character. True. Like, you obviously are not in a good place. Because if you were in a good place, that's not how you would want to be moving around. That's how I feel about that. Like, and I pray people get out of those places, because seriously, that's not.
I'm not laughing at that.
I promise you, I really do, because that's really not a good place to be in. Like, I value myself, like, a lot more to be in those type of spaces. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I put more value to myself and what I bring to the table and who I am as a woman.
Right.
Play with me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm not. So I do feel like, you know, if that's a comfortable place for you, because I feel like we've all had a past and we've all done stuff that, like, we wouldn't do today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we've all done stuff that we wouldn't do today. Like, if the opportunity presented itself, we're past that. Mm-hmm. But then you do have people that are our age and older that are not past that. Mm-hmm. Like, that's still a thing. You know what I mean? And I just feel like, yeah, it's going to require some healing, because that's not natural.
You need Jesus.
He's probably the only one that can help. Prayer. That's why I pray for him. That's why I pray for them. You don't pray for them?
For who? For
anybody? Yeah.
I mean, I pray for people that I want to pray for, but I don't just be like, oh yeah, I'm praying for the crazy females out here that's just...
No, I
don't know who they are in life right now. Like, I don't pray for that.
But I do, as a woman, when I see people that are in those spaces, I genuinely want you to, like...
Get out of them.
Get out of that.
Yeah, me too.
Get out of that. Like, I genuinely mean that, because that's not... Yeah. I genuinely want you to get out of that space, because there's more, you have more to offer.
I agree.
You know? But that's kind of like, you know, where I'm at. I feel like 30s is a great place to be in. We have grown so much from not even teenagers, preteens, teenagers. We've watched so many things happen around us. It's just like a different place. I feel like our mind frames are different.
Way
like
different.
The way we the way we think.
Like, even our conversation is different.
Yeah, but that's why we're here.
So different.
Because we have some really deep conversations that I feel like people our age who are raising kids, like teenagers, even younger kids, like toddlers, you know, people that are married.
I got them all.
Yeah, you do. For real, I didn't really, like, you shocked me.
With all these kids? Yeah. Girl, I shocked myself.
You definitely shocked me.
You gotta see me. I wake up daily and be like,
you definitely
shocked me. They all mine?
They yours.
They all of them, and then they all just look like me some way, somehow. I'm like, yo, they're all mine.
I thought we would be the ones, like, with just, like, one, you know. I always felt like I would only have one.
I honestly can't see myself without them, though.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna be completely honest. Growing up, I never saw myself being a mom. I never.
Me neither. Like, I never even wanted that.
Like, you know how, like, growing up.
Never wanted that.
Like, I hear my kids, like, Liana be like, oh, when I grow up, I want to be a mom. And I'm just like, girl, I ain't never said that.
It's ghetto here. Like, why?
Never come said that. Here.
No, first said he wanted kids. Now he say, like, he don't want no kids. And I honestly, I feel like he means it. Because I meant it until it, like, oops. Like, you know what I mean? I meant it until it happened.
No, yeah,
you know, like, I did mean it.
I was just like, yeah,
because you see, like, how many years it was before I even got pregnant again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that was just, like, a whole... The thought of that was, like, even scary.
Girl, I was popping them out every 3 years.
Listen, before...
I bought Pampers 10 years straight.
I've been cool. For, it was, 17 years. I was cool for 17 years. Like, and then it was, like, I got pregnant. And, like, I'll tell you, I was definitely, like, emotionally, like, conflicted.
Like, can I do this? Because
it's been,
girl,
to be 18
not
years.
Only that, I had a kid at 29 versus having a kid at 19, and the labor is completely different. You do not have the patience for that. I was like, I'm ready to pull this baby out myself.
Listen,
like, come on, get him out.
I was definitely afraid. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was definitely afraid, especially because it wasn't even something that, like, we planned to do. Well, the second time was, like, kind of like, we'll try again because of the first situation. But then when I miscarried the first time and got pregnant the second time, it was like, all right, you know what I mean? So that situation... Not that we're not going to try again, but it's like we gonna do, like, testing, make sure everything is cool. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's like a disappointment. You know what I mean? Like, it's a disappointment when you miscarry and then if it happens multiple times.
But you can't, it's not a disappointment. You just have to, it's literally the way that life is set up.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and honestly, like, that's one thing I want to say. Everybody always asks me, like, because I had Fred at 19, oh, do you regret it? I don't regret anything in my life.
Me neither.
Nothing. Like, it literally, everything that I go through, everything that you go through, it literally shapes you to be who you are.
I've started having full circle moments. Like, there's been, I would say probably, like, around 28, 29, I started, like, experiencing, like, full circle moments. Like, where you see, like, if it had not been for this.
Right.
Like, in those moments, you might think that situation is terrible. You might be like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening.
Yes.
Like, you're done.
Right.
Right? But then it's like, you get to that full circle moment and you're like, you know what? If that didn't happen, like, I probably wouldn't be.
Right.
You know, like, I've been working since I was 14.
I was never doing that.
I've been working.
I know.
There was times where I was like, I remember I was literally telling Jeff the one day, like, I would get off of work and have to go to school. And there was times where I would have, like, 20 minutes between, like, getting out of the car and going into my class. I would spend those 20 minutes crying in the parking lot.
What the heck?
Crying in the parking lot because I just wanted to go home.
Wait a minute. You was 14 and they was working you like that?
No. I meant, like, as time go on. I've been working since that long. But I'm saying, like, as time went on and I had to do more, do better, elevate. Like, you know what I'm saying? All that required so much sacrifice that people, like, literally do not understand.
At all.
They just think that you just get somewhere. Bro, I sacrificed time with my kid. I sacrificed so much just to make sure that when we're here right now, this is his life. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I used to cry between getting out of my car and going into class because I wanted to go home. But I knew that this is for now.
Right.
This is for now. Like, after this is done and over with, I will be in a better spot. I will have these 4 hours back in time that I could do whatever I want to do. And that's literally how I move through life. Like, I say I want to do something. I might not do it as soon as I say I want to do it. Because I do feel like you got to talk to God about stuff. Like, you can't just be, the thought might come to you, or, you know, you might see something, you might think it's a cool idea, but you gotta have a conversation. You need to pray over whatever it is that you want to do.
Right.
So that way you can make sure it's right. Mm-hmm. Even if that take me a year, like you see this podcast took
2 years.
Right. It took us a minute. Like, it took us a minute to get here. We done made appointments to go see different studios. Like, we did a couple things.
But we're here.
We're here now. But that's because we took the time, thought it through, you know, gave it time to make sure that it was the right thing for us to do. And even though, like, we nervous.
And everything that could happen this weekend happened.
Like,
so many things tried to get in the way of us.
It was so many things that, like, tried to derail us from getting to where we was going. And
simple life.
And we didn't even, like, bat an eye because we said this is what we're doing. So whatever it took for us to get here, we got here. We got here. Yeah. So that's
just how life is.
It is, but if you don't get that, if you don't transform your mind to be okay with that and learn how to pivot in those moments, you're never going to be okay when life's. You know what I'm saying? Because there was times when life was life, and I literally was like, huh? What you want me to do with this? But you know what I did? I sat there for a few, you know, but I didn't stay in that space. You know what I mean? I had the time, and I feel like everyone should learn how to have those moments. We need to be able to express ourselves outwardly, say how we feel, but you can't stay there.
And expressing yourself doesn't even have to be to people.
No.
It could just be...
Write it down.
One thing I do a lot, and it'd be so good to go back and see it. So, like, 2 years ago, like, I want to say my dad had passed away in November, and it had to be like a June. When we were working out, and we were running. And I forget what it was. We went to the park, and I had sat in the bathroom before going, and I had a whole breakdown. And I'm like, yo, what the hell? And I said, let me just write this in my notes. And I put it in there. All I said was, just look back. This is just a test. Like, things will get better. That's all I said to myself. And I was like, yo, to see this year after year and seeing where I was then and where I'm at now mentally, like, I feel great.
Me too.
I feel great, and I love that. I hate that I had to go through that, but I love that I was able to go through that, and I'm where I'm at now, because a lot of people wouldn't even understand. Like,
it's the
life,
experience.
Really life.
And I feel like, you know what, I do think, like, there's so many different, like, lessons that we've learned. Mm-hmm. There's so many of experiences that we've experienced that we could share. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like some people, like, even with my miscarriage, like, the first one, I didn't tell nobody but y'all. Like, you and, like, a couple other people. Like, really nobody even knew I was pregnant the first time. Nobody even knew I was pregnant the second time. You know what I'm saying? And, like, that, when I shared that, it took me a while to build the courage to share it. But when I shared it, I promise you, it felt like the biggest weight was lifted. Right. Because I do have, even though I didn't want to share that with them just because I just had a miscarriage the first time. Like, I feel like I don't know what could happen. You know what I mean? So even though I wasn't eager to share with everybody, like, that happy time when it was that time, I do know that I have, like, a great support system. I have people that genuinely love me.
You got to think about how encouraging it was for someone else.
That's the last part for me that motivated me even more for us to be here. Because there were people that were, like, inboxing me, texting me.
You know what's crazy? Because when you text me, and it was like a couple days after, and in my head, I'm like, I feel like I don't want her to be doing this, like, wanting to move and get this off her mind. But I'm like, I mean, we're going to talk regardless. So
let me tell you, that freeing moment when I hit share on that Facebook post and the outpour of love, because it that's what it was. Like, you kind of, and the biggest thing when me and Jeff talked about it, it was kind of like, our families and friends always will be like, what y'all waiting for?
Right. They don't understand. Yeah.
They would say, and before, like I said on the post, we would just be like, laugh it off, joke around. But that would have been so triggering after that.
Right.
Twice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I never wanted him to be in a space where someone said that and he got uncomfortable, or, you know, said something smart to them, or me. I might start crying, because I be crying, okay? I be crying. So I might have started crying, like, you know what I'm saying? And then that person has no idea why I'm crying. So when I hit share, and then the love that was outpoured to me, and the people that were, like, literally, like, I went through this. And I'm talking about some of those people had just given birth to babies, but they had that experience before that pregnancy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I started getting that feedback and how like people were like just encouraged or just inspired that I was willing to share, because I am like not an oversharer, but like I don't have no filter. I think that's a fair way to
see. I don't like to share.
It's not that I don't really share.
And I hate posting stuff on Facebook because I be wanting people not to comment. Like,
yeah.
I want to post it.
No, so it do depend, like, right? Like, I feel like if I'm having a conversation with someone.
Different, yeah.
If I'm having a conversation with someone, it's raw, it's real. Like, I don't have to lie about nothing that happened in my life or what I've done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here to, like, gloss over stuff. Because life happens, and there's nothing that happened in my life that I feel like embarrassed by.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what people want you to feel. That's what people think you feel. Like, you know what I'm saying? So they like, but that's not my personality. So like, I'm always free to be me and talk to you or whoever about anything. I'm kind of like an open book. You know what I'm saying? I'm not out here spreading my business around. But if I am having that one-on-one conversation, you're gonna know like I'm giving you
what it is.
Facts. Yeah, like the real. You can ask me something, I'm gonna be honest about it. So that inspiration that I felt like people took from me being vulnerable enough to share that fueled us here right now, the process. Because I felt like, you know what, that's just one thing that happened that I was willing
to share.
Yeah. But I've been through
a lot
of things.
A whole lot.
That would probably encourage somebody. You know, and like I said, because people probably think I got the RBF, they don't talk to me or they don't feel comfortable to talk to me. But like, I feel like there's a lot of healing that can happen when you share experiences with people.
I agree with that. I definitely
a lot of healing. Like, there's so much healing in the power of conversation. And sometimes you will be healing someone and you don't even know.
Right.
Some people have healed me and didn't even know.
And sometimes people just really just need to hear it.
Yeah.
And it ain't even about saying anything. They just need to hear someone else go through the same things that you've been through and know that it's light at the end of the tunnel.
It is.
Really, that's really all it is.
I've like that. So support is important. And I realized, like, even though I didn't share all of this with people, close to me in the beginning, like, they're supportive. And sometimes you just need that love and you just need people to, like, be there for you. Imagine, like, not even saying anything and just dealing with that internally, like, alone.
I'm an internal type of person. So.
Yeah, and I used to be like that. You know what I mean? But I've also realized that getting it out is such a freedom.
Yeah.
It's a freedom that you can't even, I don't even know how to put the freedom into words. But it was just, like, such a free feeling because it was like, I'm holding this in. I'm suffering in the inside. I feel like complete you know, like, I feel terrible.
Okay.
And I'm trying. And I can't tell anybody. So it was like, so I just got to deal with this alone. Yeah. Like, I had y'all and a couple people that were there, but it was like, y'all always the people that get all the smoke all the time. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so it was just like one of those things where I felt like this will help someone else. And it did just that. So I want to use our platform as like healing, like healing.
Absolutely. I'm
conversation. Yeah.
Because a lot of people probably think it's going to be shade or like messy, but that's not even
who we are.
Like,
yeah.
I have no, I mean, I'm people always say like, oh, you're so shady. I'm not shady. I just play a lot.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Shady? No.
I'm not a shady type of person. I don't have any ill feelings.
I feel like shady would be like if you claim to be cool with someone, but you always saying something like messy or like, I don't do, like, I would never be shady towards my folks. Like, if you for me, you for me. Like, I'm never going to shade you. So shady, like shady, no. But like, we're not here for that.
But even, I don't even know if I was going to say, like, if I would even say that. Like, I know I say stuff like to
play, joke.
Yeah, that's it.
But you know what? I think that's another thing. I think people have to, we're kind of like, if you don't get us and
you don't get us,
you might be intimidated or insulted. It's not for, like, I'm not trying to insult you. Like, I just joke a lot.
I joke
a lot. But I feel like laughter is so, like, healing. So I laugh a lot. I literally said to Jeff, like, if something happens to my teeth, like, I'm getting them fixed that day.
Oh, yeah.
I laugh.
Like, if you lost a tooth?
I'm that day, that minute. If I can't go today, I'm going tomorrow.
And I ain't going nowhere else.
Nowhere else. Like, from house to car to the
and no, I'm wearing a mask.
No, I got COVID. For real. No, for real. Because literally, like, I laugh too much. Like, I feel like that's so healing. COVID. Yeah, like, we healed through laughter.
I've always been like this.
Yeah, so, like, I don't have time to shade anyone. So, our podcast is not shady business.
Yeah, we're just here to make you guys laugh.
We're going to check on each other, give some balance to each other, get some balance, hopefully to you guys, and just, you know, bring the vibes. It's vibey over here. Libras are so vibey. Like, I don't think anybody don't like a Libra.
Everybody hates Libras.
I think they're lying. They're lying. They don't hate us.
Why he laugh?
I don't know.
I'm part of the don't like it.
Oh! Oh my God! How?
They were
That's shocking to me.
Was it a September Libra?
I don't know. It's been too many to count.
Oh my God! Oh, really? You know what? I think
no one ever
said that.
Yeah, no one ever says they don't.
You know what I think? I think that it's because
now I know a couple Libras that are not good people.
Me too. But I think that's just them.
Yeah. But like I know a lot of people, and I'm close to a lot. Like, I know a lot of Libras, and
so I'm attached to Libras and Sagittarius.
I'm attached to Libras and Scorpios.
Yeah, no, it's Libras and Sagittarius. So like my friend, like the people I be around the most are either like me or they're like Sagittarius, and they're
either Libra or Scorpio.
I get along with mostly all Libras that I meet.
Me too.
I think we're just like, we cool. Yeah. Like, it's going to take a lot for us to get off center.
And one thing I could tell you, though, about, like, being around another Libra, like, we met.
Yeah,
and, like,
you understand.
If you say, like, if I'm thinking something, they eventually say it, and I'll be like, what the heck? How did you know that?
I feel like people who, if you had a bad experience, I think it was the person, like.
He said it was too many.
He did say too many. Too many is crazy. Like, I don't know the people who say they don't like us, except for, like, on Instagram. Justin be doing us in.
I block Justin. I'm playing. I don't block him, but
Justin be doing
I don't look at Justin's stuff because
it's triggering.
He don't be having nothing that relates to my life.
No.
Like, I laugh at a lot of stuff too. I can ever post.
I can't post it, but I feel like I'm going through some of that stuff in my like. I'll be like,
in the past, I'll be like, bro.
Or some of it be funny, and I
be mad like, why wasn't Justin here when I was 21?
Right, like, because I could have used this. This could have been reshared.
I would have gave Instagram hell if it was right now.
Me too.
And I was 21. I would have gave.
Me too.
We
would have had a time. We would have had a time. I think that's good. I think we good we wasn't in that time because we had a field day.
A field day.
So now it's like I do find stuff funny, but you got to worry about. I don't even want people to assume that, like, because it's
people
not that.
People already assume stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so I don't even assume because, like, for real, my energy is not based off of like any of that stuff. I just think it's funny.
I try not to post anything like on social media other than like my kids,
like real life stuff
and like funny stuff.
Yeah,
because people always just jump to conclusions or always have like an opinion about what you're thinking.
And I feel like it's cool, but you can have an opinion on things, but not people. Like, especially if you don't know them.
Right.
Or what's going on.
Especially off of social media because you think about, like, I always catch myself saying, like, you ever see, like, for people, like, for instance, it'd be like stars. They be going great on social media. Everything be so perfect. And the next thing you know, they're like, oh, yeah, they're getting divorced. And I'm like, why did y'all do that?
Yeah. Like, what's the reason? Because y'all probably was working towards this divorce when a whole time y'all put, like,
That'd be so weird.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about like perception? Like, be it like how you are on the internet? Should people take that, like, judge your character off of that? Should people use that as a way to, like,
I feel like with the internet,
understand who you are by using your social media?
I feel like with social media, it's a little tricky because I feel like if you're gonna be that type of person where you just put out bad energy, then I don't know. That's what people are going to take from that.
I think I changed my mind running a business.
But I also feel like you don't post a lot of crazy stuff. You don't post
crazy, I don't post nothing crazy. No, at all. But, like, I feel like I started to think about that.
Yeah, because people...
And consider that...
this girl about to be...
Girl, listen. I started to think about that and consider that because I do get it. Like, we are on social media to be social and to have fun and laugh and whatever the case might be. But when you are also being the face of your business, or you are like also running business, you're running business through these platforms, they're going to try to get a feel of who is going to be servicing them or whatever the case might, whatever you're offering.
Right.
They want to know who you are. So I try to be as well, I'm always myself, but I try to stick to post as much of real, raw, like not for joke stuff as much as possible, or like being mindful if I'm being offensive towards someone, because
anything that's just not in your character.
Yeah, that's not my character.
Or make somebody question
uncomfortable
you.
Or question my character, because I am running a business, and that's how I do like pretty much pick up a lot of clients is through social media. So it's kind of just like, yeah. When I was younger, I didn't really take it seriously. I really didn't think, I'm like, it's social media, like whatever. But as we're getting to be adults and we're also, you know, promoting ourselves on these platforms, you do have to be mindful of what you're saying, what you're doing. Because whether we agree or disagree, people are using that content to judge you.
You want to know what's funny? I had literally had a conversation with someone, and they were like, "Oh yeah, they were looking for a job, and the employer looked them up on Facebook," and I'm like, that is so weird.
They do though.
But me personally, I just don't post anything crazy on my social media because I have children. Yeah, and I have a teenager.
Yep.
And what was weird is one day I happened to go through his phone, and every Facebook, Twitter. He literally looked my name up.
On everything.
On everything. And I'm like, I'm glad I don't post nothing crazy, because I always kept that in the back of my mind. Like, eventually he's going to be old enough. All of them. They're all going to be old enough. They're going to be able to go on here. Like, I'm not about to be posting nothing crazy like that. So I think that, yeah, what you post online definitely can
reflect.
Yeah. Like, unless, you have like a business page and this is who you are for your business page, like
they're gonna find your regular page though.
But no. What I'm saying is like
they look you up.
Say like on social media, I have a whole different like personality, like and I have a page towards that. That's different.
Yeah, because then you can control who you're adding, who's gonna see the content. You can make the page
like
private.
You know how the kids be doing little spam pages. Like if you want to do that, make a spam page, please.
Yeah, I agree, because you can control who's on there. Right. You don't have to accept people. But if you just got your page open to the public and you posting, and you are like trying to sell yourself pretty much, that's what we do.
It's hard.
It's hard. You have to have that balance in the between. Like, you have to know.
Right.
Like,
because if you post, I'm going to be honest with you. I know for me, I would never be able to service people. I'm not a people person, so I'm not servicing nobody. But for you, like, I can't, like, say you were one of those people where you posted, like, just a bunch of messy stuff.
You're not coming in.
Girl, you is not about to be doing no
you're not going to trust. You're not going to trust the person
not about to. You ask me, because then it makes you start thinking,
are they going to talk about me?
Yes.
Leave? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one thing. My clients know. We like this. Mm-hmm. My clients is my girls. Some of them, I have like guy clients too. I don't wax guys. Don't get confused. I don't wax guys. But I have like, guys come for facials and stuff like that. And like my clients, like, it's respect. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm on social media, but you're not going to see anything that I wouldn't present if I seen you in person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I just know that people are going to look you up. They're going to look you up. They're going to be curious. And I also just don't want to...
That's normal. It's normal. Because you're going to do it too.
Yeah. Listen, when I go to somebody, I'm looking at their page. Before I get the address, I'm putting in Google Maps. I'm Google Mapping to see where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling... We do it for our safety and just to make sure that we feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yes, I do think that you have to show up as who you really are.
I agree.
Everywhere.
I agree. So, we're wrapping this up. This is the end of
a good conversation.
Podcast.
Yes. Thank you guys for being here with us.
Yes. And
we'll be back. We'll be back. Let us know if there's anything you guys want to talk about. We want to do some promo for like some businesses. We'll keep you guys up to date on like what's next for that. But like, we want to look out for the people, do some promotion for our people that we do know, get your business out there if we can. But thank you guys so much. And I hope that you're back next time. Checks and Balance, the podcast.
We appreciate you.